Today is March 28, 2026, Saturday. Me and my friends decided to drive to Forks, Washington. It is located on the northwest side of the Olympic Peninsula in the Pacific Northwest, or PNW. It is on the western side of Washington State, situated between the Pacific Ocean to the west and the Olympic Mountains to the east, placing it in the coastal rainforest. When we visited Olympic National Park, one of the places we were most excited to see was the Hoh Rainforest. The drive going there already felt magical. The road was surrounded by tall trees, and farther we drove, the quieter and the greener everything became. It almost felt like we were slowly leaving the real world and entering another one. By the time we reached the parking area for the Hall of Moses Trail, we were already excited. As soon as we stepped onto the trail, we just stopped and looked around because it honestly felt like we had walked straight into a fairy tale. Everywhere we looked, the trees were covered in thick, bright green moss. The moss hung from the branches like curtains and wrapped around the trunks like soft blankets. Some branches looked so heavy with moss that they almost touched the ground. It seriously looked like something straight out of a fantasy movie. I kept expecting to see little fairies, elves, or maybe some magical creatures hiding behind the trees. Every part of the forest looked unreal. The moss here has been growing for many, many years. It slowly spreads and covers everything around it. Tree trunks, branches, logs, rocks, and even the ground. Some of the trees in this forest are absolutely gigantic. Standing next to them made me feel so tiny. These trees are hundreds of years, and it makes you stop and think about everything they have witnessed through time. If these trees could talk, I'm sure they would have the most incredible stories to tell. They have seen countless seasons come and go, and they have survived storms, heavy rain, strong winds, and so many changes in the world. They were standing here long before we arrived, and they will probably still be here many years from now. As we continued walking, we noticed that every part of the trail looked different. Around one corner, there was a giant fallen tree completely covered in moss. Around another corner, there was a group of tall trees with branches stretching in every direction. Some part of the trail were darker because the trees blocked the sunlight, while other areas had little beams of light shining through the forest. It made everything look even more magical. One of my favorite things about this place was how peaceful it felt. The forest was so quiet. The only sounds you can hear were birds singing in the distance, the soft wind moving through trees, and our footsteps on the trail. Every now and then, we could hear water dripping from the moss or leaves rustling about us. It was one of those places that instantly make you slow down. Normally, when we travel, we are always in a hurry to see the next thing or take the next picture. But here we found ourselves walking slower, stopping often, and just taking everything in. We wanted to enjoy every second because it felt like such a special place. Of course, we also took so many pictures because every angle looked beautiful. No matter where we point the camera, it looked like a postcard. The giant trees, the hanging mosses, the little paths through the forest, it was impossible not to take photos. But honestly, the pictures still do not fully capture what it feels like to be there. You really have to experience it in person. You have to see how tall the trees are, how soft and green the moss looks, and how peaceful everything feels around you. The Hall of Mosses Trail is actually a pretty short trail, which makes it perfect if you want an easy afternoon walk. You don't have to be an experienced hiker to enjoy it. The trail is easy to follow, and there's so many interesting things to see along the way. Families with kids would definitely love this trail too. It is easy, short, and beautiful. There is always something new to look at. Another giant tree, another moss-covered log, or another little path that looks like it leads deeper into an enchanted forest. I think kids would have so much fun pretending they're exploring a magical world. One thing we were really hoping to see was a banana slug. Banana slug are one of the most famous creatures in the Hoh Rainforest, and if you're lucky, you might spot one somewhere along the trail. They are bright yellow and definitely hard to miss if you're paying attention. Unfortunately, luck was not on our side that day. We were so busy admiring all the trees and taking pictures that we completely forgot to keep an eye out for one. Even though we did not see a banana slug, the experience was still unforgettable. This was easily one of the most magical places we have ever visited. There was just something so special about being surrounded by so much beauty and nature. If you're ever visiting Olympic National Park, definitely make time to visit the Hall of Mosses Trail. It may only be a short walk, but the memories you make there will stay with you for a very long time. Our next stop was Ruby Beach. Ruby Beach is one of the most beautiful places in Olympic National Park. Ruby Beach is known for its dramatic sea stocks, huge pieces of sun-bleached driftwoods along the shore, and its reddish-colored sand. It is also a great place for tide pooling, taking pictures, and just walking along the beach. The last time I was here was back in 2020. It was summer and the tide was high. I remember being able to walk along the beach pretty easily. This time though, it looked a little different. There was now a stream cutting across the beach, dividing it in half, so we had to be very careful finding our way across. Even with that change, it was still just as beautiful as I remembered. We came in the afternoon. The weather was cloudy but not too cold, which made the beach feel even more peaceful. Since it was low tide, we were able to explore more of the beach than last time. We got to see the sea stocks up close, and we were able to walk all the way to the huge rock that I had really wanted to visit. One of the best parts was exploring the little tide pools. We found so many cute little starfish stuck to the rocks. It was so fun looking for them and watching them slowly move around. Every time we found one, we got so excited. We spent time taking pictures, walking along the shore, and just enjoying the moment. There was something so relaxing about there. The sound of the waves, the cool breeze, and the beautiful view all around us. Even though the beach has changed a little since the last time I visited, it was still such an amazing experience. Honestly, Ruby Beach is one of those places that never gets old, and I would definitely love to come back again.